a rant about Trump today, relating to 3 incidents. Firstly, the letter bombs that have been going around the United States. I know I should have done it earlier, I apologise. The accusation against Jim Acosta and the thing in Paris where he should have gone and didn't. They're all sort of related, so I'm just going to do them all as one big video, otherwise I'd be here all week. Right, first of all, the bombs. Yes, they were sent, apparently, or they have a suspect in custody, should I say. A man called, a man called Cesar Altieri Soyoke Jr. Try and say that after you've had a pint of Guinness or something. Cesar Altieri Soyoke. Never mind. Anyway, there were some letter bombs sent around the United States to various people. In fact, I'm going to give you a list because I'm good like that. So, first of all, we have George Soros, who's a billionaire. We have Hillary Clinton. Enough said. Barack Obama. Again, enough said. We know who Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are. We don't need to elaborate on those two. Barack, please come back. I miss you so bad. And I'm British, so it's not that I'm a Democrat, it's just you're a damn good president. You were a damn good president. Come back, please. Be vice president to whoever it is tries to get the Democrat thing in 2020. Please. Be their running mate, please. Anyway, moving on, we have Eric Holder, who was a former US Attorney General. There's a surprise. Maxine Waters, who a representative of the US in, it doesn't say where. If you're American, you'll know. John O'Brien, who was a former member of the CIA, who's director of the CIA. Joe Biden, bless him. Yeah, vice president and a very good friend of the family of Obama. He is just, and he's such a nice bloke. He got the Congressional Medal of Freedom and quite rightly deserved he did get it too. So he should have. Robert De Niro. Yeah, I know he got one as well, but like he'd been sent one as well, but it just seemed a bit weird putting it in the list with all these politicians and things. Anyway, Robert De Niro, James Clapper. Now his was sent via CNN. I'll get on to CNN separately in a minute because that's a whole other load of nonsense. Dear. But James Clapper did actually, I think he was a political commentator for CNN, so it sort of explains it. But But the only thing that's mentioned here is actually that he's a former director of national intelligence, which is, yeah, okay. Cory Booker, who's a senator. Kamala Harris, who's a senator. Tom Slayer, who's a billionaire investor, like the Soros guy that we've already mentioned. And at the bottom, we've got CNN. The CNN Senator's headquarters in Atlanta. Right. Okay, the thing that connects all these people and this CNN place, the thing that connects them all is simple. They are all critical of Trump in one way or another. They've either served as a Democrat, they are Democrats, or they've been critical of Trump in one way or another. And Trump cannot stand it. So, people think now, because he's in power, it is perfectly legitimate to go around trying to hurt or kill, even, because these bombs, if they'd have gone off, they would have killed somebody, people who are opposed to Donald Trump. I'll give you an example. There was a guy on a plane, I don't remember which service it was, so I'm not going to say because I don't want to get sued, but I don't remember which airline it was, but he went and sexually assaulted a female passenger. And when they arrested him, he said, I can do that because Donald Trump says it's all right. And Donald Trump did say, women, you've got to treat them like shit. And he said it was okay to grab their privates and a whole load of other disgusting things that I'm not going to go into because it's distasteful, it's horrible, right? But he's based by saying that he's giving carte blanche to people to think they can do this. No, they cannot. Yeah. Which is, I'm sorry, but when your administration is that bad, when that your administration and you are inciting people to be mean to the, like for instance, there was that famous video of the boxing match and him hitting someone with a CNN label on their head, and then there was some guy who he assaulted a journalist, and he said anyone who can do that is, anyone who can actually do a body accounts or whatever it's called is okay. So, you know, he's been inciting all this stuff. It's not right, but he's been inciting all this stuff. So people think it's legitimate to go out and do this stuff. It isn't, you know. So this is, I blame it all on him. I blame all this on Trump. Anyway, which is where we get on to CNN. Oh, CNN, you poor people. CNN, you're my fellow journalists and I applaud you. I think you're amazing and you're good at what you do. CNN. Here we go, the CNN thing. CNN. CNN have got a big problem. They've got a big problem. Mainly because they have a rather nice journalist by the name of Jim Acosta, who is absolutely amazing. He's a really good journalist. I've seen the way he does his journalism. He's really good. And the thing is, the thing that I don't like about him is he asks the hard questions and he's persistent. Now, one of the first rules I learned from my hero, Bill Neely, was you be persistent. Persistence is a key to being a good journalist. He is just doing what a journalist does. He's being persistent. That's all. Nothing else. He's not being aggravating. He's not being bad. He's confronting the powerful. He is speaking truth to power. That is part of our job. You know, one of the things my hero once said was, our job is to speak truth to power. Shine the light, be a witness to history and speak up for those who have no voice. That is all he was doing. He was doing the first one anyway. Possibly the second. You know. So, he was doing nothing wrong. At all. And they're trying to blame this thing all on him when actually it wasn't. This intern came over. He first told Acosta to sit down, said he was very rude. How's that for the pot calling the kettle black? Trump telling him that he's rude. What? Ah! Yeah? And then this bloody intern, whoever she is, comes along and tries to snatch a microphone out of his hand. He sort of defends himself. He's got his arm up like this to sort of defend himself from her hand, to stop her taking the microphone away from him. He's not chopping her. He's just putting his arm up and saying, and she's just trying to carry on pulling the, you see what I'm doing? Yeah. So, and she did that 4 times. So if there was anyone who's guilty of assault here, it was her, not him. And then the White House actually take a video from InfoWars of all places, which is one of those conspiracy websites, speeds it up to try and make it look like he chopped her, yeah, and then saying that he's guilty of assault. Please! Ugh. No, he is not guilty of assault. They are guilty of lies. The whole way through. They've just lied, you know. And then, to make themselves look even more embarrassing, they revoke his press pass. They revoke his hard press pass, which is the one that helps him to get through security without too much trouble. And the security, and we know that if that goes, as soon as security see him, or they look at his pass and see it's him, they're going to say, sorry, you can't come in. So they might not have taken away his White House pass, but without his hard pass, he can't get near the White House anyway. So they may as well have done. And they were, here's the thing, they were claiming that it's because of this assault, this false assault on the intern. Except now, CNN have threatened to sue his butt off. So they've suddenly changed their story. They're not saying, they've left out the assault altogether, and in a statement just said it's because he refused to cede the floor to another journalist and he wouldn't sit down and wouldn't surrender his microphone, etc. No, the reason you kicked him out of the White House is because you don't like the fact that he's asking you the hard questions. You cannot cope with it. That's why. It's because you don't like him and you don't like CNN. Nothing more and nothing less. What you've done is an insult to journalism and to all journalists. I agree with Bill, you know? An attack on one is an attack on all. You have just embarrassed yourself. You've shown what contempt you have for journalism. And you're just a horrible, horrible person. You know? He can't go on like this. He has to understand that he answers to the journalist, not the other way round. We are there to speak truth to power. That is our job, and he's got to learn that that is how it works. Anyway, as if that wasn't enough, Sarah Saunders then said, this is just grandstanding by CNN. No, it is not grandstanding. Your intern is guilty of assault and should be charged with such. Not only should CNN pursue their prosecution against the White House, but Jim Acosta should pursue a private prosecution against this woman. He really should. Because that was unnecessary and he's getting blamed for something he did not do. So it's slander as well. The fact that they've changed their story just proves how flimsy it was in the first place. They've probably changed it because they know damn well it won't stand up in court of law. Anyway, it's supposed to turn up at the American cemetery, which I can't remember the name of, I'm afraid, because it's got a French name. And he said, he started making excuses. First of all, I couldn't go because it was raining. It was raining here in Leeds. It was pouring it down. I went into the centre of Leeds, stood in that square, and I honoured our dead. And I stood for my 2-minute silence, and I watched the parade, and I watched the ceremony. Ceremony? Wrong word. Memorial. I stood there and I watched it. I got soaked. I got absolutely soaked. But I didn't care because there are more important things than getting wet. That old thing about getting a cold when you go out in the rain is a load of cobblers. It's no wives' tale. I don't believe it. I never have. Right? There was absolutely no reason. And there was actually a video of what the weather looked like at the time he said this, and it was dry and beautiful and it was lovely. Lovely autumn day. So he's talking nonsense, right? That was the first bit. Yeah? Oh my god, too much rain. Right? When no one bought that piece of nonsense, he then decided to go on about, oh, it'll cause a traffic jam in Paris. There'll be a total Paris shutdown. There was no Paris shutdown because the memorial wasn't even in Paris. It was a few hundred miles away. It was like, because he said the helicopter couldn't fly in bad weather. I don't know a thing about helicopters, so I can't tell you. Someone from Castleair might be able to tell me whether you can fly a helicopter in bad weather. I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know a thing about helicopters, so I'm going to cede to him on that because I have no idea. Even my husband's not too sure, and he's good with aircraft, so even he doesn't know. So assume he's telling the truth on that. He probably isn't, but assume he is, and he couldn't go in his helicopter. Then he said it was too far by car. Too far by car, please. I don't know how far it is, so... Yeah. But the fact that he said it would cause a traffic jam in Paris is a complete load, and there was a lockdown in Paris, is a complete load of nonsense, simply because he didn't have to go through Paris. I have checked a map. As you can see, the cemetery's over there, on the right. Paris is right down the bottom, and the airport's on the left. So he could go straight from the airport, straight to the cemetery. He had absolutely no reason to go through Paris. So he's talking complete and utter nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Total drivel. As if that wasn't enough, then he realised that, well, that ain't going to wash either, and everyone's laughing at him, and everyone's been making puns and jokes. The whole net's been awash with pictures of him in the rain, of other presidents doing it in the, doing their thing in the rain, like President Obama. He was doing a memorial in the rain, so were a few other presidents, you know. When that didn't wash, he decided to blame the security services. The security services have contingencies for things like this. Anything the president done, they have to have a contingency for in case it all goes tits up. That's their job. You're telling me the security services weren't doing their job? What a load of cobblers. Come on. They were doing their job. You're the one who was not doing his job. He could not be bothered to go to a cemetery and honour the war dead. The people who fought for his freedom and our freedom. Oh, and just one last jokey thing to embarrass him. He went and met with let me make sure I get it right. Yeah, he went to meet with the leaders of 3 Baltic countries, right? Estonia, Latvia, hello Peter Gresta, and Lithuania. the 3 Baltic states. He decided he was going to accuse them of something that had nothing to do with the Baltic states, really. He said, "You're responsible for the Balkan War." They're not Balkan, they're Baltic. I mean, I keep getting it confused as well. I admit, I keep getting my Balkans and my Baltic confused. It's not difficult. Just to clarify, because I've got it written down here just so I don't make the same mistake. Okay, the Baltics. Yeah? Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. The Balkans. Macedonia, Bosnia, Serbia. Just so we know where we are, okay? So he basically accused the people from Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania of starting the Balkan War in the former Yugoslavia. What? Like I said, I get the two confused. Donna's picked me up on it a few times that I keep getting my Balkans confused and my Baltics, right? But like I said, and as a journalist that's shameful, and I'm trying to get my head around it, but I am not the President of the United States, so at least I can make that mistake, correct it and think, right, okay, got to remember that that's that and that's that. He needs to get it right. He should be getting it right. He should know his geography. He really should know his geography. Donald, the Baltics are not former Yugoslavia. The Balkans are former Yugoslavia. The Baltics are the USSR. Oh, they were. They were what were the USSR. Okay? Just to show I'm not totally infallible. Yesterday I was talking to Donald about it and I actually said they were part of the Russian Federation. No. The USSR is what I actually meant. I didn't say that, but that's what I meant. Yeah. So I'm not infallible either, honestly. I have problems. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I can't read or write or do things properly. But A, I've got a medical condition, which gives me an excuse, and B, I'm not the President of the damn United States. I'm not going to show myself up in front of thousands of people. Maybe a few people who watch this video, but that's about it. You know? We can't be going on like this. He is embarrassing the US. He's making the US an embarrassment to the world. He needs to be voted out ASAP. He really does. Right, I'm going to go now. I've had my rant. I'm feeling better now. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. Bye-bye.